to this. Let's see if I can find this here. Eric Reed, we met at the Houston Gander Mountain Academy event, huge at the CCW Expo. Of course, Eric was a guest on this show.
Yes.
I had not met him, so when he came up to say hello and introduce himself, I said, "Hey, I know you. Weren't you on my show?" He said, "That was me." After our exchange, he forwarded me an email exchange. You know, of course, Eric Reed is the founder of Guns Across America rallies that have been held across that hundreds of thousands of you across the country have attended. He'll be here next week to break news on this show. Next week, he'll be here to break news on this show. In the meantime, one of his one of his coordinators, a state coordinator, sent an email to this is unbelievable, sent an email to David Marston. David Marston is a Hudson, New York alderman. You know what that means. He's a councilman. He's a homeowners association wannabe.
Here we go.
Right? You know I don't like these guys.
I don't either.
We tore West Palm Beach a new one, didn't we?
Yes.
The little wannabe homeowners association. Give us your money, and we're going to manage the neighborhood.
Yep.
These are egomaniacs. They like to be in positions of power. Well, Joanna Johnson Smith sent him an email. And in that email, she forwarded to him some information from a sheriff's deputy about the New York State SAFE Act. You know, they call it the SAFE Act. That's the fascist gun grab that occurred a few weeks ago in New York.
Yes.
She wanted him to know that only 2% of, because they keep referring to law enforcement officers support the bill. Law enforcement supports our bill. No, they don't. She reminded them with an email from a law enforcement officer that only 2% of law enforcement do, and she proves to them that they're all Democrats. When we come back from the break, I'm going to read you the exchange. You will not believe what the elected official wrote back to her. Oh, man. Buckle in. It's a good one. Armed American Radio. We'll be right back. This is an elected official in Hudson, New York. Look him up. David Marston, Marston. Dear Joanna, it's really neat that all you gun-toting, Tea Party psychotards are so interested in the goings-on of our little city, even though I find it amazing that you don't have any other pressing issues before you in New Lebanon. On the other hand, I guess it's not surprising, considering you ideologues aren't interested in actual policy, but rather grandstanding on mythical narratives of victimization. Two things. The only spit here is the white stuff frothing on the ends of that rotten little mouth of yours, from which you spew this hateful, ignorant trash. And a donkey's behind? The rabid ignorance of the fringe is best illustrated by its sad metaphors. I mean, seriously, thank you for the laughs. By all means, come on down. We'll be happy to beat you barbarians back with the clubs of reason and responsibility, radical lunatics that you are. And say a quick pro tip, since you're the organizer for Unemployed Gun Nuts USA. Next time you think these unhinged rants will change the mind of anyone who has even a modicum of intelligence, you might instead just go back down into your basement and watch another episode of Wheel of Fortune. It'll certainly be just as effective. Remember, there are millions of Eagle Scout, God-worshipping patriots who find you and your radical ilk as disgraceful to American democracy as the brown shirt jackboots you act like. I happen to be just one of them. Good luck. Best regards, David Marston. This is an elected official in Hudson, New York. Now, mind you, he's talking about radical ilk, disgraceful to American democracy. This is an individual who is supporting a midnight fascist gun grab. Law-abiding citizens. You heard what he said. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what the Democrat radical gun haters think about you. my sincerest apologies. I had no intention of ever sending this email.
What?
Lie. 2 lies. My sincerest apologies is the first lie. The second lie is that he had no intention of ever sending this email. Let me read it first, and then we can shred this idiot. My sincerest apologies. I had no intention of ever sending this email. I've been getting endless emails from people who don't live here calling me names because of a gun legislation I didn't write. I happened to take out my frustration and anger on your email, and for that, I am sorry. It was accidentally sent from my drafts. I can't get through this. It was accidentally sent from my drafts. I accidentally wrote it, I left it in drafts, and I accidentally hit send. Again, I hope you can understand how upsetting it is for a patriot like myself to get emails saying I spit on the Constitution and could give an ass about rights. It's offensive, but it certainly does not warrant this kind of unhinged response. I'm embarrassed, and I'm sorry. Sincerely, David Marston. David Marston, you're a liar. You aren't sincerely sorry about anything except the fact that you got caught. Period.
That's worse than the White House letter.
Unhinged response. I'm embarrassed and I'm sorry. You're embarrassed because other people read it. When we come back, we'll talk with Catherine Whitney.